Pantheon Barrier. It's a play on words, actually. Pantheon Barrier, but you can say they're the shots of the characters are actually from bottom up. So I think it's a panty shot barrier. Yeah. It's very funny. July showed them here, here, here. So that's we call Pantheon.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sue, and today's episode is all about collecting Grand Archive. I'm joined by TheDon and Sir Jim, who a lot of people know as one of the biggest Grand Archive collectors in the Philippines, and they also took first place in Path of Silver at Ascent Los Angeles. So today we're talking about how they got into Grand Archive, why they started collecting, what Path of Silver is like, and the big question, is Grand Archive actually worth collecting in 2026?
So hi, I'm Don. I'm one of the owners of Gamer Shop, along with my brother Jim and some other partners or other brothers. We're both entrepreneurs, but we love Grand Archive, so we're both players and collectors of the game.
And the reason I got into Grand Archive is because Don introduced the game to me, and I find it very fun and enjoyable. And ever since, I got hooked to Grand Archive.
So I was the one who introduced it to Jim, but some of my other friends, they were already playing Grand Archive. One of the local LGS was carrying it back in 2023, right? 2023 December.
2023.
Okay. And then I remember that they were teaching me how to play Grand Archive. I was playing a Doa Lorraine starter deck, and they had a fully built tier 1 Merlin deck. And they always hit me with double, triple fireballs in the face. And I never had a chance. And then a few months later, when Jim and I were in a vacation, I brought two decks and we started playing during Christmas time.
Yeah.
Right?
If I could recall correctly, Don and I were playing in the dining area in the hotel that we are staying, and I would consider it memorable because it's the feeling is that the both of us are really focused into learning the game, and I remember playing a Wind Lorraine with a lot of allies, and we actually played the game until 12 midnight on 2 days.
Yeah, two
Yeah,
nights.
two
Several
nights. Yeah,
nights.
so that's probably very memorable because it's Christmas and it's something that I love I love playing. So I got hooked because of that.
So during that time also, segue to collecting. My first Grand Archive collector ultra rare, we were bidding blindly in eBay. So we bought the Lorraine lineage all through eBay. So later I'd like to show that to you. It's the 70 of 70 Lorraine. So I was able to complete that set. During that time, it was still cheap. 2023 December. So we were players. We didn't know anything about Path of Silver actually. So Path of Silver at that time was just like we didn't know what it was. And actually, if you check online, you watch YouTube videos, there's not much explanation regarding Path of Silver. So I think that's one of the reason why it's so daunting, and or some of the players don't know what it is or don't care because they don't know what it is. How we got into Path of Silver is because we were starting to collect CURs blindly.
Mhm.
We didn't know that it was going to have an effect, and then we tried to collect one of each CSR, collector super rares. Later we'll show you some. And then it just so happened that we had enough cards to join Path of Silver, and then Um, that was just the time of ALC, so that was just the third set. So it was still easy to collect because that's what, around 500, 600 cards. Then we bought some of the foils from the regular sets from some of the early players of the game wanted to cash out. So that's how we built our Path of Silver collection. Then since then, every set we just buy the foils, we open some boxes, collect the CSRs. Here in the Philippines, we buy a lot of the CORs from the CSRs from the players, and I've also bought CORs from players in the Philippines as well. So, GA Grand Archive is unique in the sense that there's Path of Steel. So Path of Steel is for the hardcore players who are really competitive. So their prizes are the spirits. So this is one of the spirits from the first Ascent. I think this is Terry's spirit from Ascent. This should be used on. So he got number 5 in this Ascent. So these are the prizes for the Path of Steel players. But Path of Silver players also have prizes. So we also have top 8 prizes. So in Singapore, our first Path of Silver, this was actually the prize, Shira. So we got 8th place here. So it's really appealing because your hard-earned money or your collection, you can actually earn, well, it'll never come back to you as full ROI. We don't think of it that way. But at least we get something back as prizes. If you're first, you get a trophy. If you're first or second, you get a lot of first ed DOA boxes, which you could open or rip, and then you can get more CURs, or you can actually sell it. A box of DOA first ed now is around $3,000. Yeah, and then one of these spirits range from $7,000 to $15,000 depending on the number. Yeah, so and
And
there are buyers who really go after it actually.
yes, and I think one of the amazing things about Path of Silvers, if you may have noticed, there are a total of 5 Path of Silvers that Don and I have won, and each one of them has a very unique story to each of one of them.
So it's in a sense it's very rewarding. Also the journey is very important because we collect each of the CSRs, right, or the CORs. But if you notice, these prices have been pretty consistent over the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, a Sadie, those started during MRC $250, $300, and now they're still hovering around 1,000 over the past 2 years that it's been in existence. So obviously there's CSRs or there's cards or foils that aren't as expensive, but there are cards that are really collectible. So all in all these cards we have to own at least one of each, and then we are able to join the Path of Silver with it, and then we have a chance to win one of these prize cards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay, so maybe we need to explain what Path of Silver is in the most basic sense. Okay, so I'll show you something. This is from my Omnidex. I hope they allow me to do this. So I apologize in advance. So if you join Path of Steel in any Ascent that has Path of Silver, usually 3 to 4 times a year, you're eligible to join Path of Silver. So what is Path of Silver? Path of Silver is submitting 50 cards, and these 50 cards can either be used to win you an overall spirit, which is one of these,
Mm-hmm.
or a thema card, which is a top 8 card also with 3 possible themas. Okay? So if you go to your um I think this is the best way to explain it. If you go to your Grand Archive card list, the database, let's just quickly show the people cards. Okay, let's just pick any card here. Okay. So I chose Spirit of Water here. So if you notice, there are some values here. So there's an overall score. There's a charm, mystique, valor, and then
Ferocity and grace.
ferocity and grace score. So the themas are all the other colors. That's not overall, right? So every Path of Silver, there's 3 thema competitions, right? So if you get the top 50 cards with the respective thema, for example, Valor, then you get a top 8 prize as well. It's a signed card, but it's not a spirit. So between Jim and I think we have one each.
Yeah.
Right? We don't join the themas too much because we don't have enough cards to join Path of Silver overall and Path of Silver thema. So actually, there's a lot of ways to join Path of Silver. And then the next one is the overall prize. So basically, if you add all your 50 cards, and then your top 50 in top 8 in those 50 cards that you submitted, you add up all the overall scores. Then you get one of these spirits. So in Ascent LA, I was able to win the first place spirit. Okay? But there's more complexity to that. I'll go back to my app. All right. Now let's toggle it a bit. So if you look at this, there's a tab here that says set bonuses. So let's choose a set bonus. CHP means the champions. So the Lorraine lineage is Lorraine level 1, Lorraine level 2, Lorraine level 3 starter, and Lorraine level 3 so there's several versions of these cards. So for example, Lorraine level 1, she's in Dowa First Ed, Dowa Alter, Dowa Prelude, Dowa Starter, and then she's also a CUR. So obviously, the Collector Ultra Rare is the most has the most points, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if you submit this set, the Lorraine lineage, you get a bonus of 5-4, 5-2 thema score for overall. And then any of the colors or thema. Okay? So then there's several sets that can be added up to form your score. So in essence, for the overall, then each of the themas, there's only one best score with the best 50 cards for overall, for thema Mystique, Valor, Grace, Charm, and Ferocity. So there's only one score, one best score. So the players, they all submit their entries online via the Omnidex. And then the next day, we get a notification if we have one of the top submissions. And then there's a tie break. Okay, so the tie break for either overall or thema is producing the highest point cards individually, right? So the highest point cards right now are the first DOA First Ed CURs. So one of the DOA First Ed CURs, if I'm not mistaken, has 2,000 CUR points, overall points. So you show each CUR, and then in a tie break, like in LA, I had to show 36 CURs to win first place. The next guy had 35. And then the 8th place, I think, had less than 10. Right? So that's how they handle tie breaks in GA. So what changed, as July mentioned a while ago, was how they do redemptions for Path of Silver. Before, if you had a threshold score of 100,000, you get the playmat, you get a promo card, you get a keychain, whatever the price is for that. Now, in the current Path of Silver iteration, I think they've done it for 2 seasons now. You submit a fixed number of cards. So if you want the promo card, for example, Nascent Blast, you get a promo card if you show 6 of the cards that they ask. Let's see. Do I have redemption here? Yeah, there you go. Redemption. So actually, I don't join redemption at all because they ask me to produce these cards. So it was another beginning. Sorry. If you want the another beginning playmat, you have to produce these 7 cards. So you need to produce a recurring invocation foil, a storm slime non-foil or foil, a bladed rift seer foil, a rictus tiding foil, a scorching imperilment foil, and a windwalker boots foil, and a Morgan non-foil or foil. So basically, you need to produce these 7 cards to get another beginning playmat. And then, once you present those cards to them, they will stamp it. So they'll forever stamp your card. So that's why I don't actually go for the redemption. But it's a cheap way, or it's a accessible way for Path of Steel players to get promo cards and playmats. So it can either be a playmat, it can either be a promo card, another beginning foil. It can either be, they have the Sylvie grading card service. You get a voucher for that. If you produce 5 cards, then you can get another beginning non-foil in the special art. If you produce 4 cards, the lowest redemption is 50 Ascent tickets, which I think is very much worth it nowadays because they announced another change that you can buy CSRs with Ascent tickets. Right? So now actually, if you have your entire collection stamped, you go to a lot of people and have your collection stamped, you can actually get a CSR. So it actually pays off to have an extra set of collection. Also, once they stamp it, it's just luck. You can't reuse it for the same event. But you can use it again in the next Ascent with Path of Silver. So it's not consumable. So actually, there's some players that has 2 stamps already in their cards. Okay? So now there's a lot more value to joining the redemption program. And also, I forgot something about the set bonuses. Every Path of Silver, they release new set bonuses. So there's some hidden set bonuses that haven't been guessed. So basically, you see over here, sets with hidden cards. You just toggle it. So there's some sets here that don't have cards yet revealed. So the name of the card, actually this is a clue. It's like an Easter egg. The name of the set is Take My Strong Hand. So 4 cards and 2 are still hidden. So the first card that was guessed by Don Beats is Armed and Dangerous. So the second card that was guessed was by this Fu Domingo, Sharpened Blade. So if you think about this kind of set bonus, there's a theme to it. So basically it buffs your weapon, right? So this buffs your gun, this buffs your dagger or your sword. Then there's probably 2 more cards that buff something. If you guess a card here, you get a free pack, right? So it makes sense also for Path of Steel players to keep on guessing, right? So, and if you guess all the if you guess all of the set bonuses, the possible overall score changes, right? Because if all of the sets are revealed, then there's a math problem. It's a basic math problem. Best 50 cards given with all the set bonuses equals X. Right? It's a math problem. Okay? Yeah. So I think I've explained the different kinds of Path of Silver. So there's just to recap, Path of Silver overall. Then there's Path of Silver Redemption. Then there's Path of Silver Thema. Right?
I I think Don, they have already introduced a new mechanic now. This is a recent change wherein the scores of each of the CURs have become dynamic.
Okay. So one of the issues with Path of Silver is it's so hard to get in Path of Silver because all the old players have all the CURs, right? So whether it's Thema, some of the Themas need CURs, but most of them don't. And then obviously for overall, if the tie break is the highest overall pointed card, and then you have to show many of that, it's the DOA first CURs because they have the highest value.
Mhm.
But they introduced now that every CUR is dynamic. They can weekly, each of the CUR at random can go up 5% or go down 5%. What does that mean? So tomorrow, or next week, the highest CUR might be an Alice, which is from RDO, which is from PTM, which is from DTR. And then it's also possible 2 weeks from now, it becomes a Tristan CUR. And then 3 weeks from now, it becomes a Lubu. And then 3 weeks from now, it becomes a Kongming. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if you have the most DOA first ed CURs, you have the biggest edge to win. So they made that change, I think, to allow new players to come in, new collectors to come in, and then join Path of Steel overall. Okay? So I think it's a very good change that they did. So kudos to Grand Archive and the Weebs team for realizing that it's a gatekeeping situation. But now there's no more gatekeeping, I feel, because you can just load up on the CURs from the current set or the most current sets. Then you can join actually Path of Silver. And then one more thing, there's only like 2 to 3 CURs that's needed for the top 50 submission now. When we started joining, Jim and I started joining, you need like 30 first ed CURs to join. Right? So, because you needed the Rai lineage, the Lorraine lineage, the Sylvie lineage, so all these lineages, because they gave you the most points. But now I think you only need the Sylvie one, a Tristan. No, you don't even need the Tristan.
Yeah.
And just a Kongming. So you just need 2 CURs, I believe, for LA. And then you can join top 50. You can actually borrow it. So what's happened in Path of Silver is it became a team game. So if you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of connections, you can band together your collections, then you can share the prizes later on. That's why the team in SoCal is quite strong. They have, I think, the most first place wins with over 100 CURs. So it's very tough to beat them because they share cards.
Yes.
Okay, so there's the first, the guy who won the most first place events. So that's Lee. So he's from SoCal. And I think there's 3 members that comprise the SoCal team. And then there's K-Ban. And then there's the Apex team. They joined together for Path of Silver as well. Yeah, and then there's I think a team from Hong Kong and Australia as well. Yeah. So and then there's a group from Taiwan. So it's all over the world. Yeah. I think each of the spirits that we won, Jim and I won, as a team, because actually I don't have a big team. My team is my brother and myself, and we have some close friends that help us with Path of Silver.
Mm-hmm.
each of these spirits has a story. So I'll just give a brief background on it. I mentioned before that when we started Path of Silver, no one was giving us any info.
Mhm.
So everyone else knew what they were doing. What Jim and I did was
Oh,
we did a pen and paper computation with all the set bonuses. So Jim, can you explain how we did it briefly?
okay. Basically, what we did was that there were all the given sets, and since we were flying blind during that Ascent Singapore, what we did was that we tried to compute the total overall score of each of the cards, and you will have to average it. For example, you have a set that's 7 cards. You'll have to get their overall score first, then you have to divide it by 7, and based on the computations, we had to fix it in such a way that going to give you the highest average score per card. And what makes it more difficult is that you need to optimize the number of cards that you will put in such a way that it will give you um the most overall points
So
given the 50 card
so to
format.
summarize, we had the GA index. Then we got the overall scores of each of the set bonuses that was revealed. So we manually added each individual overscore card, added the thema bonus, then divided it by the number of cards. Then we had to manually rank each of the sets by the average point,
Mm-hmm.
right? So 7 cards plus set bonus divided by 7.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have X number. And then you had to rank it. Then we had to do some mathematic calculations to find out the top 50. So basically, we didn't make the best overall score. It was our first time. We actually tied with someone else for 8th. But because we had an extra CUR to win the tiebreak, we had an edge over him. So we were able to win 8th place in Singapore. All right. So next is Ascent Santa Clara. So Jim and I went here also. Um, Long story short, uh, the guesses end at 5 a.m. And then Jim and I fell asleep around 3 a.m. And then around 4 a.m., some people were able to guess new sets. And then the overall score changed. Then when we woke up, we didn't have the best overall score anymore. Luckily, we were still part of the top 8, but we didn't submit the best overall score. So we call that sleepless in Santa Clara.
Yes.
Right? So because we slept, we didn't get the. So, but after this, they changed the cutoff to 11 p.m., right?
Is it 12? Or is it, yeah,
10 p.m.
10 p.m., yeah.
So now they're kind to us. They don't force us to wake up. So you see, there's an evolution also to Path of Silver. And then the Ascent Worlds, I wasn't able to attend. It was Jim who was able to
Yes.
attend because I had a prior engagement. So Jim, how would you describe your solo Path of Silver?
I find it very interesting because like what I said, you need to have some close contacts to be able to help you out. So it's like a scratch your back, I will scratch yours thing.
So you had to lend some people some cards.
Yes.
So that they lent you some of the cards that you didn't have,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then because we had some friends that helped us, we were able to win 5th place by tiebreaker.
I think there are two things that you need to know about this. First of all, the one card that I needed that time was a Tristan CSR, and I think it was in demand. So I was actually crossing my fingers that time because I had no assurance that that would be given during that morning. Thankfully, they were able to secure that card and I was able to use it.
Yes.
And second, this was the Path of Silver event where Lee, the number 1 player, got disqualified.
yeah.
Um,
So actually, I mean, it was very unfortunate, but it gets cutthroat in Path of Silver. If you produce the wrong card, you can get disqualified. Actually, I got disqualified for Thema in LA because I produced the wrong card. So it happens to a lot of people.
Mm-mm.
Fatigue is a factor because you have to. For me, for example, I play Path of Steel, then I have to do Path of Silver at night.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get fatigue. So in LA, I made day 2, and I had to fix 3 submissions for Path of Steel, Path of Silver. Then I had to play day 2 still. So it's very taxing to the body actually. So I don't blame anyone who makes an error with Path of Silver. Um, yeah. All right. So this is Ascent Akihabara. So this is the second Shira. Long story short, while I was playing Path of Steel, I lost my keys, and then those keys had the keys to the collection in the hotel,
Yeah.
and I had to submit it. So Jim and I were running back and forth from the hotel trying to look for it. Luckily, the people from Fable had it in the lost and found.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fable team. We love you. We Because of you, we were able to join Path of Silver. Right, so it was just 2 very small keys to our luggage.
And a little off topic about Akihabara. Both Ivan and I got top places in their cosplay competition.
So Jim has a peaceful reunion CPR. And now to July's question. Uh Honestly, I didn't expect to go number 1 in Ascent LA. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to get it. I have a trophy. I'll just send a picture to July. I have it in the shop. July will post it somewhere here or here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here, July. Okay. And then I was there's a story also here. For this Path of Silver, I had my friend Ivan join with his own submission. It just so happens that I had enough cards to join 2 submissions for this Path of Silver. So I joined with a dummy submission. Um Actually what I wanted to have is just the 4 um promo cards if they don't make top 8. But what happened was, because there was a 9th submission, people didn't lend cards to each other. So I think the SoCal team had to separate their cards instead of consolidating. I think that was the net effect. And then because of that, I had enough CURs to win with I think 36 cards. The second place was Lee with 35. So that was quite interesting. It ended up as a good strategy. Uh, so it's a very memorable as well because Ivan went um, second place in Path of Steel in full cosplay. So we could have swept the event, but some things happened, and then that he didn't win in the finals. But 1 and 2 for the Philippines was very cool and memorable. Probably not gonna happen again. Well, in Akihabara we had Mark Yang and I had 3 and 3, right? So that was memorable as well. I forgot to mention. How did it change my outlook? Ah, we love GA, right? We spend a lot of money, we spend a lot of time collecting. We go all over the world supporting this game. And we hope the people who watch this podcast or video podcast, they look at GA and they give Path of Silver a try because it's quite rewarding. Also for the redemption, I just like to add for the common people that want to join, not the whales or not the dolphins, the regular players who are playing Path of Steel, you can actually re-roll some of the cards. So if you see foil, you can re-roll it. Then sometimes if you get lucky, you get a non-foil version of a easy card.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually you can just go to a vendor then buy that card. Then have it stamped. Then you get the redemption. Okay, so it's really easy to get some of the giveaways. GA is very rewarding with a lot of these prizes that they give out in the events. Yeah, so it's really worth collecting. They hold their value, and then sometimes you just have to bring some of your collections, and then just have it stamped. Then you get something. So I was mentioning a while ago the Lorraine lineage. So I have here. This is actually my most expensive collection
Mhm.
There's a binder
for slabs.
for slabs.
So this is the 70 Lorraine set. If you see the number, it's 70 of 70. So this is Lorraine level 1 CUR. Then I have Lorraine level 2 70 of 70 CUR. Then I have Lorraine level 3 70 of 70 CUR. So the value of these cards right now, um, they range from 6,000 to 7,000 per card. Raw. Graded, probably closer to 10,000 each. Then USD. And then as a set, because I have the 70 of 70, so that adds some value to that. Okay. And then I also own the 69 of 70. Okay, guys, relax. Yeah, but this is the this is probably more expensive than the 70 of 70 individually. So what they say is the 69 out of 70 or 72 card is almost equal to 1 out of 70. Right. So I'm lucky enough to have this card. Okay. Thank you to the person who sold it to me. You know who you are. Thank you. Alright, so I'll just briefly show you some of our collection. So Jim and I have been collecting this for 3 years. So we have the Lorraine lineage here. Then we have the Rye and the Sylvie collection here. And then I just want to show you the Sylvie grading card service. So you see Sylvie here. Sometimes she has a happy face. Sometimes she has a sad face and she says something. So she says, "Is that Grand Archive, the anime TCG with Western game design?" Right, so that's what she's saying. So this Sylvie is actually a single digit Sylvie. What number is it? 5? I can't see. Yeah, it's 5 of 70. So the single digit cards are actually more expensive than the regular cards. So I have 2 Sylvie CUR ones. I have 2 Rice CR1, 2 CR2s.
I think there's some
Snaps.
exceptions about the numbers kasi the ones that are really popular would be the number 69 and the 67 probably.
So I have the 5 of 70 Xander one. Damn, I had the 5 of 70 Lorraine CUR, but I sold it to a local whale. You know who you are. So I have some of the other cards here. Okay. So those are the CURs. So I also own these 2 cards. I own the Tristan 69. Don't hate me, guys. Then I also own the Kongming 69. I also own the Alice 169. So I'm a number collector also. So these are some of the early CSRs that we have. I also have CURs in the slim slabs because as a player I never thought I'd sell these. So I actually had them slab. And then I actually can't unslab them anymore because it's quite difficult to unslab PCG slim slabs. So that's why I can play with these cards and not worry about them. But they're quite still quite thick, but they fit in the deck boxes. So these are all CURs except this Allen. And then some of the early CSRs. So we have a lineage here for Tonoris. We have the Tonoris 1, Tonoris 2 with shirt and without shirt. So funny story about these two cards. Um in Thema, guess what has the higher valor score? It's the one with the t-shirt. But the higher overall score is the one without the t-shirt. So Ivan cosplayed this in Akihabara. He asked if he can do it without the t-shirt and he was not allowed. So funny story. They didn't allow him to take off his shirt. So he had to wear a black shirt. So he wanted to go as Tonoris B, but he went as Tonoris A. And then I have the Arisana lineage here. 1, 2, 3. And then the Diana lineage, which is part of the overall score. I hope you can see it. I won't take it out one by one so it doesn't take too much time. Quite rare now is the Tristan lineage from MRC. MRC is actually one of the least printed boxes. I don't know the pop report on these, but it's really low. And then again, I have another Tristan CUR here and another Kongming CUR here.
You cannot get a CUR from Alter.
Yeah, you cannot get a CUR from Alter boxes, but you can get these CSRs from Alters. So, for example, in ALC, the original, actually, the ALC CSRs are technically CURs because they're pop 70, 72. So, they just forget to put the number. I think they wanted to try something different and not put the number there, but they're actually CUR level cards. So for Alter, so the first ed CSRs for what set is this? ALC Alchemic Revolution is the Diana, the Arisana, and the Tonoris lineages. Then for Alter, it's actually the Nico CSRs. So this is Nico 1 and Nico 2. Some of my prized possessions. They scored really high in grading. And then I plan to play with this. That's why I have them in the Slim Slams. When I bought these, they were when I pulled some of these and I bought some of these, they were like 500, 600. Now they're pushing 1.5 USD because of the rarity of the card. Okay. Right. So actually, I'm already showing my whole collection. Then we have Vanitas lineage here from ALC Alter also. Then we have Polcock lineage from ALC Alter. Then we have the Jin lineage 1, 2, 3. Jin's counterpart is Kongming, right? So we have the Kongming lineage here. Kongming has four cards. Kongming 1, 2, 3, and yeah, 2 level 2s. I don't have the Ascetic Vice in this one either. So if you notice, I also slabbed some of the Regalia of Tristan. The Magebane Lash, and then the Temptation Facade. The reason why was I played the Icebound Slam deck before it got banned. So I didn't know it was gonna get banned. And then I started slabbing them. Now I can't unslab the cards anymore. But it was fun while it lasted. They banned the Icebound Slam quite quick. After Quarax abused it in one of the Ascents. So thank you Quarax for that. But that's how dynamic GA is. If one of the cards is too overpowered and they didn't design it that way, they have to ban it. So somewhere in my collection, I really shouldn't show all of it, but I have some more CURs. So these are Dowa event kit packs. We didn't have GA in the Philippines, or I wasn't doing GA yet when the event packs of this went out, so I had to buy this outside. And then this is from Supporter Pack 1, Gildas. I have 4 Gildas because I used to play Wind Allies. So if you check my stats on what's the new site? Fractal of Insight, and what's the new site after that? So they show me as a Wind Ally player because for all the seasons except the last two, I was playing Wind Allies. Okay. Then CSRs from FTC and FTC Event Kit. I did not pull most of this. I had to buy it. Um, I bought a lot of these when they were cheap. Okay. ALC. Okay. I pulled one Sadi, then I had to buy the rest. Thank you, Tyler, once in love, for selling me 2 of those. Then, like I said, I used to play Nico, and then I collected for Ravishing Finales. So funny about Calamity Cannon, you needed to have 2 Calamity Cannons in Ascent
Yes.
Singapore to make top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I didn't get a lot of ELC cards. Okay, so this is from AMB, you're right. Um, we did some. I had more AMB CSRs, but I traded them for fluffy shopkeeps. Honestly, I regret because I won't get those CSRs back anymore. So I regret some of the, especially the San Quan. I regret trading him for fluffy. And this is from uh, Heaven and AMB
Mm-hmm.
event packs. So I wanted 4 of each of the horses. Um, I used to play fractals also, so I collected 4 Zhangzhaos. They're all here. Then I played Wind Allies. That's why I have 4 Sunkiss and 4 Shangshangs. I will use this card soon because of all the Serious. Damn you, Serio. Okay. I have. Thank you to the people locally who sold me these cards. Most of these cards are sold locally. Then Fracturize CSR from SP3. I have a 4th one, but it's in the Pantheon deck that July made me play. Then we have some Gelduses from SP3 as well. Then the Glenny Boy Lorraines. Okay, so we have the suited stuff and the DTR stuff. I played suited also for a while. Alright, so basically it's a lot of that. Let's show some of the recent stuff. I don't have to show all of them. So it's so collectible. Look at this. These are the Looking Glass foils from PTM.
Mm-mm.
So we have Arcane Sight, we have Astra, Crocs, Exia, Luxem, Neos, Terra, and Ambrasite. I don't have 4 sets of each, but I want 4 sets. As you can see, there's some blanks here. But if you want to play like a crazy Solomon deck, you need all of these cards. So it's fun. Right, so these are some of the PTM cards. Nothing here too expensive. Okay, so this is another chase. That's quite difficult in RDO. These are all the new spirits. They're population 70 also each. So we have Dao-chan spirits. So fragmented, Fortuous, and Serene. Then I'm still missing a fragmented Merlin and a fragmented Xander. Then I'm missing 2 cards from Nico, but it's coming. I've already bought it. So I'll be able to complete 1 set soon and with some extras. But it's a crazy chase. I don't think I can collect the second set of it. It's too crazy. It's too expensive. G costs a lot also. So now these are some of the new CSRs from RDO. It's a new chase, the ultimates. Yeah. And then actually none of the cards here are too expensive. Except now this girl, Alex. Yeah. So I'm lucky enough to have three of this. I already have the fourth secured. I was able to buy this before Ascent Oceana. Oh, sorry, not Oceana. Wherein most of the top decks had the Iela as an engine. So from $400, she's up to $1,200
Damn.
Most of the cards here don't even cost 200,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe later on. Like some of the ultimates here, not even $200. Like the limitless defense from Defiance from Jin sold for 100. I saw a while ago. I wanted to buy it for 100. Right, so it's just nice to collect. Yeah, so that's it. So I've shown you most of the collection. Is it worth collecting in 2026? It's worth collecting in 2027, 2028, 2029. But what's most important is you have to play it also. You can't just collect it. If you play it, you actually become more attached to some of the characters in Grand Archive. So, for example, I have a Merlin deck here that I won the store championships with. So I actually play with my bling, right? So I start with Alice 1, then I go to Merlin 2 and Merlin 3. And then my deck is actually all foil with CSRs, right? Crookside, Creative Shock, which is a redemption from FTC before. This is a Ghost of Pendragon CPR. Let's just show some of the cards here. Ghost of Pendragon CPR, nice art. Creative Shock, right? And then maybe let's show you. They call this Taiwanese barbecue, cremation ritual. Almost every fire deck has a cremation ritual. And then let's show my top 100 foil dungeon guide from the promo packs. You can't find these anymore. I in 2024, early 2024, I bought these out $200 each in TCG Player. Now it's closer to $2,000 each. You can't find it anymore. Yeah, so basically I play with my collection. Right? I don't mind it. And then there's another way to collect as well and play, which is Pantheon. It's not as expensive to play like Path of Steel and you bling because Pantheon, it's like Commander in Magic. You only need one of each card, right? So you can collect and play at the same time, all foil your deck. And then what's good about GA also is they reprint the cards in different arts, right? So I think for this next set, they'll probably do something with Lorraine. Probably reprint her level 1. And then, as we know now, they changed Lorraine to Arcane. So that's very exciting. A champion that we love is gonna have a new way to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's worth collecting. If you say, I want to collect because it will go up in value, I think that's the wrong way to go about it. All of these things are material. They won't go to the moon in value anytime soon. A crash is sooner, probably like when a game, for example, some other games, you collect it, but now they're weaker as a game, then the collector value goes down, then the value goes down. So as long as there's people playing the game, I think the value will sustain, and then it will be worth collecting more. So play the game. Play the game, collect, have fun with your friends, then just enjoy the game. That's the important thing. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, I agree.
So the smartest way to start, I feel now in 2026 with Pantheon is to build all foil Pantheon deck. Right? Don't think about CURs. Don't think about CSRs yet. Just think about foiling your Pantheon deck because you need one of each, and then you can play casually. Yeah, with Pantheon, and if you join Ascents, you get Pantheon packs actually, and some of the cards inside of the Pantheon packs are crazy. Like you get a Pantheon barrier, so it has the arts of Xander, Arisana, Lorraine, and Kongming. Right? So I think they range from 1,500 and $2,000. All you have to do is to submit a send ticket for side event, play 4 to 5 hours, then you have a chance to get one of those expensive cards. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so I think that's the best way to enter into collecting. Find a character that you love, go to all foil it, and then play it. That's the most important thing. Play it and play it, play it. Yeah. Discover new ways to play it. So if you watch the video that we made, I played an all foil Diao Chan deck, um, and we transformed her to Lubu. So link is over here. Okay, so go watch it. Um, Actually, in that game, I could have won if I didn't transform to Lubu, but I transformed because I had full bloom. I would have healed so much and I wouldn't have died anymore. Right. New collectors should avoid chasing like the old cards and spending a lot of resources in them. Like I mentioned before, Path of Silver now has evolved in a sense that you don't need most of the old CURs to win an event. What I recommend is to, if you want to go for overall or one of the themas, is to find some friends to join, and then don't buy all of the cards. Don't buy all of the old ones. You can start collecting from the current set, and then you can build your collection from there. Jim and I, we started the collection very small from FTC and buying stuff from eBay. Right? So you don't need to go all out. We didn't join the first 2 seasons of Path of Silver. We didn't have enough cards. Collect what you enjoy, whether it's Grand Archive, whether it's one of the other TCGs, whatever it is, you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it anymore, don't collect. If you don't play it anymore, don't collect. Right? I went through some of the other games recently. I didn't enjoy them anymore, so I stopped collecting. So I got stuck and hooked in Grand Archive. It's so fun to collect. The art style is really nice. Um, Link, the new Super VIP card from Ascent Worlds that's coming up. It's over here. So it's so collectible. It's the Mystic Purifier CPR. So I think there's only like 20 to 30 of that card. And then Link, this one, July, the Icebound Slam from the Icebound Slam Cup. Crazy collectible card. It doesn't help you in Path of Silver, but it's so collectible. Like, it's exclusive card. You need to win a top 16 event in Taiwan to win that card. I mean, it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful card of Nico. It's a banned card, but there's a way to generate it now with a Sable Mare gloves. Right? So just play, love what you're playing, then collect at the same time. So shout out to Weebs of the Shore first and foremost for giving us a game that we love and we can collect. Uh, they're very responsive and they really care about the game. Responsive in the sense that if you noticed, I gave a brief summary on how the Path of Silver changed. And then actually, even if you check Path of Steel, how they have the Proxia vault wherein you can print proxies and they can react to changes in the game. They're very responsive, and they're very, they care about the game so much. Then shout out to Herald Speak. Um, they're the partner for Grand Archive in the Philippines. So without them, Grand Archive isn't there to be enjoyed by the LGSs in the Philippines. Um, Shout out also to July over here, our friendly podcaster.
Yes.
And then shout out to all the players of GA in the Philippines. You guys, without you playing weeklies, playing the regionals, playing the store champs, without you collecting, the community won't be as vibrant. Um, I hope that you continue to love and enjoy the game as much as Jim and I do. Um, and then just shout out to all the GA players all over the world who make the game so friendly, so welcoming,
Mhm.
right?
And I really like to see the game thrive even more. So that's why thank you to everyone who supports the game.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks.